You're live. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Just right in front, right here. You're good. You're there. You're live.
Oh, everybody is good morning. Everybody's good. I remember Jay Mulkey of Beauty of Birdie. We're so glad you're with us again. If this is your first time, welcome. This is the house that loves us. You're going to feel it. Come right through the digital airwaves, so to speak. And as I say each week, if this service blesses you, if you take away things that help you in your life, we consider our job well done. But I also ask for your financial support. And if you can give your gift by pressing the PayPal button, or send your gift to YouTube Birdie, PO Box 1973, Birdie, Texas 78006. This is so appreciated. This is what we do. This is our outreach. This Sunday service this morning is just one area. We're doing it throughout the week. And you can see it on our Facebook page. We have Works of Mirror. We have Monday evening book study. We have Thursday night backlighters. All these things are part of the outreach you get to a Birdie. We're going outward, we're wide, we're expansive, we're welcoming, we believe in the universal love of God. And that's what we're going to celebrate this morning as I speak about lightening up and lightening up. So, as I always say, enjoy and come join us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity. Javier, Cortinas is going to be our usher today. David Coleman has the clicker, so that makes him responsible for the PowerPoint slides, and Tom Allen is our video tech as ever. Thank you to Maria and to Sherry for taking care of distributing the prayers to our prayer group and Silent Unity. After we pray for a week, they go to Silent Unity for a month of prayer. And thank all of you for being here today. If this is your first time here, would you please stand and tell us your name and where you're from?
Hello, my name is Donna. I am a cousin of Nancy Sorensen here. And what else did you want? Oh, I'm from Chicago.
Welcome to your other home, temporarily.
My name's Ryan. I'm Christina's fiance, and
We've been waiting, Ryan.
I am. Good luck. Thank you. And I love I'm grateful.
Thank you. We're so glad that you're here today with us. If you would like to receive our newsletter and email notices, there's a sign-up sheet in the back of the church. Put your name on it, and we'll be happy to include you in our mailings. And we won't share your information without your consent. You'll notice that our activities are listed in your bulletin, your order of service, and if you have any questions, you can ask Reverend Jay or any of the board members. Now, announcements are on a separate sheet. All right, there is in the back corner holder with our complimentary March and April daily words. If you haven't picked one up today. It will give you something to start your day with every day. We're always collecting dry goods, toiletries, etc. to pass on to various Boerne groups to help those in need. That basket is at the door, and you can put in any donations that you have. Today, lunch will be at Bellicera. If you'd like to join us and haven't yet told Ann King, she generally calls and makes the reservation for us. Let her know that you want to go so we can adjust the number that we told them we were bringing. Our ladies' lunch is the third Wednesday of each month, and if you're on our mailing list, you'll get an email notice to RSVP so that Sherry can make reservations at the restaurant. The Edgar Casey group meets here on Fridays. The last meeting was March 28th, so the next one will be in April. It's every second and fourth Friday of the month from 10 a.m. till noon. And it does require that you RSVP to Ann so that she knows how many copies of material she has to copy for distribution during the meeting. We also have a men's brunch group, and the next meeting, which is generally the first Saturday of the month, will be April 5th here from 10 till 11:30. And talk to David if you're interested in coming to that. Oh, it says ask David. It's Joe. Read the word that was printed here.
And I will be bringing the tacos, Chris.
Tacos. Breakfast tacos. All right. Every Sunday morning we have a book discussion group from 9:30 until 10:30 in the adjoining Sunshine Room. And we are going through a book by Marianne Williamson called The Gift of Change, Spiritual Guidance for a Radically New Life. It is fascinating. We generally get through 6 or 7 pages of it, sometimes not that many, because we talk about what we're reading. So it's not necessary that you have even a copy of the book. Just come and listen and join in.
We have 11 people there today.
Good for us. 11. All right, if you're here for the first time or you haven't been getting our weekly emails, we have a sign-up sheet in the back where you can be added to get our newsletters, which are monthly, and weekly announcements of what's happening the upcoming Sunday. And occasionally there are special notices, like when we had the time change earlier this month, we got a notice to remind us. And you can unsubscribe at any time if you find it an annoyance. There are several things happening weekly on Zoom. They're listed in the order of services. We have a book study at 8 p.m. on Monday night. We're going through a book called Conscious Union with God by Joel Goldsmith. There's also a Course in Miracles class group that is held on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And on Thursdays at 8 p.m. we have our meditation and prayer group, which is facilitated by various leaders. Sometimes Bertie helps us with it. Sometimes it's Reverend Jay. Sometimes it's another minister from one of the other Unity churches. And that's 8 p.m. on Thursdays. So now we should be ready for our first All Things Bright and Good.
All right, so please stand up, everybody. I love this tune. It reminds me a lot of the Masterpiece series, as well as the book, All Creatures Great and Small. Very happy, loving song. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little flower that opens, each bird that sings, He made their glowing colors, He made their tiny wings. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. The purple-headed mountain, the river running by, the sunset and the morning that brightens
like fruits in the garden, He made them every one. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. He gave us eyes to see them, and lips that we might tell. How great is God Almighty, who can make all things well. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. The Lord God made them all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Inside your bulletin, you'll find a prayer request form for any prayer request. You can drop them into the box that comes by, the prayer request, or if you want to, you can wait and put them into the offering basket later. Our own prayer team prays over them for a week, and then they're sent to Silent Unity, where they are prayed for a month. And now we will have the daily word read by Parton.
As we quietly and gently prepare for the reading of the daily word, we remember that we are in spirit with millions of daily word readers throughout the world. The Christ candle is lit as a reminder of the Spirit of God within all of us, which we call the Christ within. The word today is forgive. The affirmation is, my soft heart expresses love as I forgive. Holding on to a hurt caused by someone's words or actions is harmful to mental, physical, and emotional health. If I stew over these negative feelings, it's likely I will feel worse. It is when I am willing to let go of these troubling emotions that the healing begins. Forgiveness is healing. Realizing the slight may have been unintentional, or the one who hurt me may be unaware of my pain, I feel compassion. I let go by repeating the words, I forgive you, silently to myself, which helps me speak these words aloud when I am able. If I have caused unintentional harm, I ask for forgiveness. Through divine love, I forgive and am forgiven. As I express this love, I mend feelings and open the way to peace and harmony. The Bible verse today is from Luke chapter 6:37. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Again, the affirmation, if you choose to say it with me. My soft heart expresses love as I forgive. My name is Parton. Thank you for worshiping at Unity of Boerne.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you. All right, please stand and join us in the call to faith. Together, the
Words I choose bless myself and those around me. I speak words of encouragement, love, and peace, knowing the outer world reflects my inner state of mind, and it is good, and so it is.
Please remain standing as we sing our joy song, Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now
Mission statement.
We can say it's standing, sitting,
All right, the mission statement together.
Unity of Boerne is a vibrant, loving, spiritual community providing a sacred space for personal growth. We honor and celebrate the Christ within all people.
Thank you. Please be seated. I'll now turn it over to Reverend Dave for the blessing of the prayer request and the remainder of the service. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Great to see a full house. Wow. It's wonderful. Right now in our service is the time that we bring our requests to the presence of our consciousness, whether we choose to keep them in our heart or to put them on paper and place in the box when it comes forward. If you choose to write them down, I'll pray over them. They'll be sent to Silent Unity, where they'll be prayed over for 30 days. But the prayer request, as I said, is in your bulletin, and Sherry will wait for you if you want to fill one out right now as she comes forward. I do want to mention the fact that our own Maria Aguirre is not here because she wanted to let you know that, and we want prayer for her, that her mother-in-law passed away this past week, and she's with her husband Jeff, and I believe they're in Temple, Texas, but I'm not exactly certain about that. We want to keep them in our prayers, especially this time, this day. All other prayers that are unspoken and not written down, the ones that we sometimes just have in our heart, your life can be a prayer. And what we do is we affirm the goodness and the power and the positivity and the grace and the majesty of God. We do that right now in this time of prayer. And those of you online, I invite you to join us in bringing these requests that you may have inside you to the presence that is infinite. Infinite and loving presence, you are the ground of our being. You're the very light in which we live our life. Sometimes we forget that in our limited human understanding. But your presence is always there as a gentle beacon that guides us through the path, up the path, and through the hills and valleys of our lives. Right now there's so much that may be on our minds. But you know our hearts because you're closer than our very breath. We affirm that your perfect will is being done in our lives and the lives of the ones that we hold in our consciousness right now. You are the foundation upon which we live and move and have our being. We remember that right now. And we know that there is no place where we can drift from your love and care. We ask your blessings on a world that hurts and to be with those right now who don't see a way, who don't know that there's always another chance for them. Be their guide, be their wisdom and be their understanding. And most of all, we know you're their love. And that is the ultimate. We affirm and we do it now. And so it is.
Well, I hate to disappoint you all. This is the first Sunday in 4 that I haven't written a new song. 4th time's not a charm. I wasn't trying to. It just so happens that the last 3 times I've been here, I just was blessed with a new song that came through. This is one, though, that I wrote a few years ago that I haven't played very much because it sounded too much like another song I'd written. So I kind of like brought it back. It started coming back to me. And I said, well, this needs to change. And change is the essence of, hey, like Marianne Williams, the gift of change. It's a song about healing. It's a song about awakening. It's a song about shining your light out to others so it can come back to you from the inside out. I was just staring out the window one day. I thought I was meditating, but I was really just staring out the window and it came through. So it's about being in a window, too. I saw it in the sky. Was asking questions slowly now. I did not ask why. If you let your light shine, let it shine before all, that they too may see your good work. I saw the innuendo. It opened up my eyes, crossing from one door to another. I did not want to say goodbye. Then I let my light shine. I let it shine before all, that they too may see your good work. Yeah, let your light shine. Let it shine before all, that they too may be this awakening. Shine before all, that they truly be your good word. The word is love. Then I let my light shine. I let it shine before all, that we too may be in this awakening. I saw you through the window, the light through the sky. In the midst of his children, it doesn't take
And this time, for meditation, we release and let go of those things that we have accrued over the week or over the month or over the year or perhaps a lifetime. Or we think it can't be any different. Life is set. There's not much you can do about it, but we know that is not true. We receive fresh inspiration this time. So I'm going to lead a little bit of a guided meditation and then go into silence where great things fashion themselves. I am one with perfect action. Everything that I do, that I say, or think, is quickened into action through this right understanding and this correct knowing. The harmonious action of the great whole operates through me now and at all times. I'm carried by Spirit as I release those things that no longer serve me, and I reach out for new life. And in the upcoming stillness and silence, I accept all the good, all the wonderful, the truth about me. Love that formed me in its own image knows nothing unlike itself. And everything that is unlike that which I wish to experience, I drop into the ocean of the unlimited love of God. And I'm made new. I am whole. Confident. I am serene. And I am blessed. And so it is.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Well, as always, it's wonderful to see you and be here. And today, well, I actually planned these titles about a month ahead of time. And so about a month ago, I thought about the idea of enlightenment. We talk about light a lot, a lot in the New Thought movement. You hear it, love and light to you, blessings of light, and all. What does that actually mean to us and to a newcomer? And what is this about light? Well, the physical truth, if we take, the scientific truth is, without light, there'd be nothing that we'd be able to see in this physical universe. It is I say, and I think many agree, that it is the sum and substance of the physical part, of the physical manifestation of God here. Let there be light, was what was said in the beginning in Genesis. Jesus talked about light. Don't hide your light under a bushel, but let it shine for all men to see the glory of God in you. And so many times we push down our own light because we're our own harshest critics. We come to New Thought because sometimes we've been damaged by a traditional church, the theology of such, or the people there, or a dogma, whatever it may be. We've done because of friends that go to a New Thought church like Unity, or Science of Mind, or any of these wonderful places, or because our soul is hungry. We sense an expansiveness. Sometimes we've read philosophy and psychology, and we realize that God is so big and that it defies our understanding, and we want to be with other people to celebrate coming to the knowledge of what that means. Regardless of why you tuned in this morning, regardless of why you're here this morning, I want to tell you that you, me, everyone needs to lighten up. Now you've heard that. Just lighten up. Let it go. How hard is that? Especially, and I don't mean to make light of this, especially when things hurt. Because we want to grapple them to ourselves with chains of iron because they give us an identity. And if some things that humans love more than joy sometimes, oftentimes, is having an identity as a person who is wrong or suffering, or you fill it in. But the true identity that we really have ultimately is light and love. That's who we are. These words that I use right now, that any of us use, are simple contrivances that we humans have made to try and express what's coming up inside us. Words we've heard can't do justice to some things. We've heard from the Course in Miracles that words are twice removed from reality of what we're trying to say. You see, it seems like we're always trying to express more, but something frustrates our potential. And sometimes we blame that on other people, and then in other cases we turn it in on ourselves. And then we're told and entreated and enjoined in a metaphysical church like this to go forward and be the light of the world.
Light of the world.
Go be the light of the world. And how are we going to do that if we are holding inside ourselves these pictures, these ideas, these concepts, these things that we have allowed to carry? We're allowing us to carry them. Why? Why can't we take that new life? Why can't we this morning say, I'm a child of God in love and light, and mean it, and walk out of here in a whole new and different way? I could say it's the ego. That's enemy number one, because it's the one that ego edges God out. Have you ever heard that? EGO, it edges God out. It keeps those new inspirations from coming to us because it plays to our mistaken certainties that we really know what's going on. And I'll tell you one thing, it's enough to know what's going on inside of me. But when I try to worry and work the world around to where it makes sense for me, I give it up. Because anybody can look out there right now and find thousands and hundreds of thousands of competing ideas and peoples. As I said, we're so divided right now. Keeping our own mental household straight and direct and workable is a full-time job. Letting the light in is a full-time job because so much around us conspires to cover the light. We allow it. Sometimes we welcome it. Doesn't judgment sometimes feel so good? I've told you, things can hurt so good. The essence of masochism. But we do it because we get a thrill out of it. Last week I said, there's chemicals and hormones and all kinds of things inside us that respond to our thoughts, and even when they're not the best thoughts for us, it still reinforces something in us that says, I'm right. I may not be happy, but I'm right. The Course in Miracles asks the question, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Well, if somebody says, well, that means letting them get away with it. And it means I get away with everything I ever did. That means that everything's just forgiven and forgotten. Nobody's asking you to be a fool. Nobody's asking you to deny what's in front of you. But what kind of world would this be, really? Think about it. If in our minds, we let everybody off the hook, including ourselves. What if this morning, every cherished sacred cow of judgment, upset, fear, anger, guilt, everything that has to do with our past and the people in it, we just said, I forgive you. I release you to be your highest self. They may be gone. They may be no longer in your experience in this earthly plane. I release you. I forgive you. I set you free. And in so doing, I set myself free. Think about the kind of world we have. Think about the interior world we have, which is the only one we can really control. Eric Butterworth, the great Unity minister, talked about being in the flow of life. He talked about discovering the power within you. He said, we are all eachness in the allness of God. One drop of water in the ocean, that drop of water is still the ocean. Our single individuation of God is still God. Would God be honored by the way that we live our lives? Think about that. You have a presence inside you that's ever seeking to come through the imprisoned splendor. Would it find home inside your little construct? Would it straighten? Would you allow it to do its healing, straightening work? Can you release those things? You see, the study of truth isn't so much accruing new information. It's letting the old information that no longer works go so that you can be in this new life that we talk about and that we celebrate. I like to say the truth teaching is what you forget when you walk out of here. Whatever I've said, you forget, and then what stays with you. In other words, nobody can remember every word that somebody said. So did I give you the feeling of magnanimity, the feeling of greatness that is yours? Then my words, as cumbersome as they may be and get in the way sometimes, did I do what I was called to do, which was to affirm the wonder and goodness of you, and in so doing, I'm doing that for myself. That's what I think a true minister does. You know, it speaks to the best in you. And you know, I've talked about those who speak to the worst in people. They want to divide. They have a cynical multiplication. They feel like they can multiply their numbers by dividing people. Setting people one side on this side, another on that side. and they have all kind of angst and trouble. And then at the end, I love this, at the end of that kind of divisive rhetoric, there's always a prayer, and oh Lord, may we be one. How can that be? You've spent nearly an hour or a lifetime dividing on the basis of theological thought, usually, lifestyle choices. The judgments go on, what traditional church calls sin. And boy, did we focus in on one aspect of that. You remember what the traditional preachers were talking about? Sin, what was it? Sex? Oh, they railed against that. Alcohol. I had an aunt. She called cards, playing cards. 52 devils in Satan's army. And I like to play cards. And when I brought them with me to her house, when she would, watch me as a kid, I was not allowed to play with those cards. That was how she felt about it. Cards, they're just pieces of paper with images on it. Your thoughts about yourself are just images that you've made. They can be released today. You can step into the truth of who you are. That's what we talked about in the daily word, right here. I read these ahead of time, and I let the impressions come to me. Here it is. Healing, holding on to someone's hurt, words or actions is harmful to physical, mental, and emotional health. We know this. Now, I'm not saying you're doing this. But some are. And the basis of the law of averages, you can't get this many people in a group where somebody doesn't have something that they're holding on to, something they need to release, something they need grace for. Excuse me. The truth is, you're bigger than anything that you're holding on to that blocks you. And how do I know that? Because you were blessed with the gift of choice. Your Creator loved you enough not to make you an automaton, a robot, and a pro forma creature. You get to choose. Of course, the Miracles talks about choosing once again, making another choice. Your decision making. I don't care if you are this morning lying in a bed of affliction, and I have been there. You can make a choice. You can make a choice to see that this came not to hurt me, but to edify me. My place in consciousness is what I need right now for my further growth, and to hell with the judgments that anybody wants to lay on me about why I'm where I am. Don't listen to anyone who makes you feel small for going to whatever you are. That's the business between you and Spirit. That's the business between you and God. Oh, how we love to get in the way of that communication. You know, I said when I became a minister, please just don't let me get in the way of the Spirit working with people. I wanted to go tell the world how wonderful this way of life is. I believe it. I know it. I really live it. And then when I don't, I tell you all. And I always get a lesson from it. Because I've said there's three big things that are important to me. And I think if you take the 10 Commandments and you bring them down to, their essence, if you take all the laws of life and reduce them to their essence, there are three things that I think are of vital importance. One, use everything for your upliftment, advancement, and growth. Everything that crosses your path. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. That's a big one. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. If you don't handle, I'm going to stop there for a moment. If you don't handle your own situations, you can't go and do it for somebody else. To love each other correctly, we most first have to practice self-love, self-understanding, self-affirmation. That may be turning off the TV. It may be removing yourself from a negative group of people or acquaintances may be a relationship that has to be renegotiated. Our relationships, after all, are the things that mean the most. People have relationships with lots of things, but it's people that we care about in the end. You can have all the money, you can have all the things, you can have all the material things in the world, and we know it's all too common to hear. They had everything, and they commit suicide, or they fall into despair. They had everything you could want materially. No, we want connection. We want connection even though we don't want to admit it, because we don't want to appear vulnerable, because we think that makes us weak. And we don't realize that the biggest weakness is walking forward in life trying to accumulate things. Talk about weakness. Accumulate a bunch of physical things that are going to make me feel secure. How much is enough? Have you ever seen somebody get something, achieve a goal, and then they want it, particularly financially, and then, what am I going to do? I need more, and more, and more. More becomes a disease that keeps you from living right now. The only thing you need more of is the love of God, the love of yourself, and the love that you go out and give to each one of us. If a minister, a priest, or rabbi is not talking about that, I will say this right now. If they're not saying that, they're not telling you the truth. Jesus said it. Buddha said it. Lao Tse said it. I could tell you all the sacred scriptures of the world, but boil down, use everything in your life for your advancement. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others, and don't hurt others and don't hurt yourself. Now that pretty much says it all. And the working out of that is a life's mission for us. It's nice to have 3 little rules. I love 7 steps. I love 10 pointers. They're all reminders. But folks, what do we really want? We want connection, we want love. And we can't love correctly and lighten up if we don't allow what needs to be changed in us to be changed. And that means saying, my best thinking may have gotten me here. I'm going to step back and allow a new thought to lead the way. I'm going to listen to that still small voice that gets drowned out by all the things that I think I can't live without. The radio, the TV, the books that I want to lose myself in. Nothing wrong with that, unless it's being used as a defense against who you are, to run away from what you can be. Folks, I'm saying this morning, we have to face ourselves square in the mirror sometime. We have to look at it, for better or worse, and say that our thinking, in large measure, got us right where we are. And how and when are we going to accept the grace that says you can make a new choice? You lighten up like that, and you let go of that baggage you carry, all that stuff, then look what happens. You have the ability to let the light out. People see it. Where did you go? What happened to you? You used to carry on about so and so. You don't do that anymore. What's happened? It seems like a miracle. Well, that's what a good life is, everyday miracle. We want to talk about the water into wine and virgin births and all these kind of things, when the real miracles that we really need, everyday ones, are in large part in our own hands. It becomes a miracle for us because we haven't done it yet. I invite you to do it yet. Do it now. Why not? Why not turn the dial in your mind from the station that hears all that crud and junk about what you did, what you were, who they were, what they did? How about just flipping it over to the straight, sweet talk of the Spirit, which always encourages, always uplifts, never puts down, and always affirms. That's the best, let me tell you, that's the best I could hope for you this morning. That's the best I could hope for me. You know, it was a great old saying, W. Clement Stone, the insurance magnate that wrote Success Through a Polished Mental Attitude back in 1960. He said, I have a goal. All I want to do is change the world. And you know what he did? He changed his world. And by doing that, he touched others and changed their world. I might mention, W. Clement Stone went from selling newspapers at 7 years old on the streets of Chicago to owning the Aon Insurance Company, writing books with Napoleon Hill, living to be 100. As he said, drinking champagne, dancing with his wife, and loving every minute of it. He died at 100. There's something to this positive. But more than that, there's something to allowing the grace and the majesty and the presence of light in your life. I invite you to do that this morning. The old ministers would say, come just as you are without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for thee, and thou bidst me come to thee. O Lamb of God, I come, I come. Now that's one way of saying it, and it works for some people. I'm going to say it a little different way. Let it go. Know who's with you. Know you're loved. Decide to make your stake your claim right now. Come forward inside to who you really are and meet the one that never left you for a minute, and you're no surprise to that presence at all. You are loved. And you lighten up, you lighten out, and you lighten all of us. God bless you all this morning.
Yes.
Bless you all. Well, they say when you applaud before a sermon, that's an act of faith. When you do it during a sermon, that's an act of hope. And when you do it after the sermon, that's an act of charity. The old one from a long time ago. All right, right now, we...
Favorite part of the service.
The minister's favorite part of the service. Why? Because I know when you give gifts, you're going to further the work that we do at home. We're doing some good work. Go and look at our Facebook page. Those of you who've been invited by me, and all of you have that are on Facebook, to go in spirit. That's about to take off. I will talk to you about that on the pages. Look at it if you have access to Facebook. It's called Go in Spirit. If you don't like it and you have a request to join, and I know that everybody here that has Facebook, I've invited. But go to Facebook and look at Go in Spirit, and I'll be telling you more about that in the weeks to come. As of right now, I ask you to give the best gift of which you're able so we can do the work that we do here. I'll ask you to do one thing that I do every so often. Could you just today give 10% more? Just 10%. Why do I say that? Because I know you'll be blessed. Every single time I've given, I'm blessed. And I know that the laws of life say that. Bring you the tithes into the storehouse and see if I will not pour you out a blessing where there's not room enough to contain it, and will rebuke the devourer for your sake. That's in Malachi. It's another sermon message. So anyways, Javier, come forward. I ask you to give the best gift of which you're able, knowing that you're blessing all of us. Thank you.
Freely I have received, freely I give. My love to me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive.
Together we say our prayer for increase. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all
all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I send it forth with my blessings and my love.
Build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Just now. I just counted 32, not counting the boy. Isn't that great? You know, we get some of the most special messages here. We are blessed and we know it. And that just makes us happy, and we want you to come and be part of this. And if you are too far away to come on a Sunday morning, we still include you, and we still include you and feel just the same way that we feel that our services are more. It's a big until next week, have a most wonderful, blessed, and fulfilling week.
My great aunt.
Most we can wish for you. Thank you, God. Bye for now.
Hi.